Before headlining this campaign event in Atlanta today, Beshear was in Des Moines, Iowa. A keynote speaker for the Iowa Democrats yesterday, he took jabs at former President Donald Trump and his running mate, Senator JD Vance. WHAS 11 senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton are reporting in Iowa, where voters say they saw a vice presidential candidate last night.
Iowans have seen many big-time politicians, presidents, vice presidents. They know when they see a star, and they're not convinced easily. So when Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear stepped onto the stage in front of a sold-out crowd here in Des Moines, he knew he had to bring his A game to resonate with them.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear in campaign form in Iowa, touting the very win that put him on the national radar.
If you don't know me, I'm the guy who beat Mitch McConnell's hand-picked candidate last November in Kentucky.
How would he connect with folks outside the bluegrass state?
I'm the guy that beat Donald Trump's hand-picked candidate.
Do you believe he stacks up after hearing this?
I told my friends, I actually have a group chat with some friends of mine, and we've been talking about it, and I'd earlier penciled him as like the person that I would like to see, but I didn't think was going to happen. And I told them tonight, I was like, he's moved up on my power list. He's at the top of my power rankings.
This was one of the moments that brought 450 Iowa Democrats to their feet at an annual fundraiser.
As governor, I have vetoed every single piece of anti-LGBTQ plus legislation that our legislature has tried to pass.
He gave substance in our private conversation today, which touched my heart, and you take that and you take it to the voters because that's what they want. They're tired of all the craziness. They want something with substance.
And he was giving us a message that we've tried giving to our children, but he was putting it with more power behind it to stimulate your young people, the generation that was here.
Iowans saw a man campaigning on behalf of Vice President Kamala Harris, who's vetting potential candidates to be her running mate, including Beshear.
I like him. I think he would make a good VP pick, to be very honest.
Over some of the others?
Over some of the others, yeah.
At the podium, Beshear taking just 3 minutes to mention former President Donald Trump's running mate, Senator JD Vance.
He said it was weird that I attacked, and this is in his words, his quote, origin story. Batman has an origin story. Fictional characters have an origin story. Real people have childhoods.
My exclusive interview with the governor in Des Moines, moments before he delivered his remarks. JD Vance, you mentioned the senator. If y'all were on a debate stage, who would win?
I would, every day, all day. I mean, listen, I'm a person of real conviction. I'm a person who believes what he says, and I care deeply about our people in Kentucky. This is somebody who exploited us, who used to come for weddings or funerals or a couple weeks during the summer to see his kin, and I respect that. But to claim that you know our culture and then to insult our people is just wrong. Beshear, described by the New York Times as an amiable attack dog from Kentucky, did show Iowans the tone of voice Kentuckians are used to. 94-year-old lifelong Iowan, Mary Campos Dominguez, getting some one-on-one time with him.
That he was being very honest and sincere, that he was being very forward with what he was thinking, and he was not pretentious. He was not pretending to be somebody that he wasn't. He was just a normal human being.
In his address, Beshear talked about his kids and the conversation he had with the vice president soon after President Biden bowed out of the race.
I was sitting at my son's baseball game. It's just me and a couple hundred parents when that news broke that day. And the first thing she asked, listen, she was just thrust into likely being our candidate for president, and the first thing she asked is how my kids were doing.
Governor, you said that the vice president knows Will and Lila by name. I mean, how do you describe your guys' relationship?
Well, it's special. She's taken the time since the moment that she met them to talk to them, to ask about them. When she calls me to see if they can get on the phone, that's really, I mean, the fastest way to a person's heart is caring about their kids.
You would not be going to Iowa and then Atlanta the very next day and spend time away from them unless it was beyond just an event to
No, I agree
to get the word out. It has to be bigger than that,
Iowa
no?
Before any of this
That's fair,
happened.
that's fair, but Atlanta, I mean, that turnaround
I'm going to
11,
Atlanta because the Harris campaign asked, but you know,
but not because you're trying to show them what you can do.
I'm honored to be considered, and regardless of what happens, I'll work every day to make sure we elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
To me, he has the qualifications to be a vice president. If Kamala was elected and something happened to her and he had to step up, I would feel comfortable that he could step up and do the job.
And as we travel back to Louisville, there is something to keep an eye on here. We've heard the governor's messaging turn more national by the day. Will that continue? What should we look for? We'll have analysis from experts on both sides of the aisle. That'll be Monday night at 6 o'clock. For now, I'm Isaiah Kim Martinez here in Des Moines, Iowa.